Hey guys, it's Eric here. It's Saturday, time for another episode of Backlog Arcade. And today I'm really excited because I'm talking about one of my favorite games of all time. And this game in the arcade probably got most of my money. Like just across the board, this game probably got most of my money. Flat out, period. Literally one of my favorite games of all time in the arcade. And I can't wait to talk about it. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Let's get into it. Alright, so this game I absolutely love, and I'm laughing because I'm so excited to actually play and talk about this game. It's literally one of my favorite games of all time, and as I mentioned before right there in the intro, it got most of my money when I was playing in the arcade. This is a side-scrolling fighter. As you know, if you look over my shoulder, you can see what game I'm talking about if you recognize that game. Some of you may not, because it is kind of an offbeat title. It has been released in many forms at this point, but it is kind of an offbeat title. It's a side-scrolling fantasy-based beat 'em up, and it's so good. But at the same time, it's so simple, and I think that's part of the reason why it attracted me when I was a little kid. This game was released in 1991, so I would have been 9 years old when this came out, and it was released in Japan. And then it was released here in the US the same year, just a few months apart. That's in the arcade. This game's called King of Dragons. And I like to refer to this game as Dungeons & Dragons Lite. And the reason for that is because Dungeons & Dragons had an arcade side-scrolling beat-em-up game. And that's a fantastic game that I'm sure I will do another episode on because I absolutely love that game as well. That being said, I didn't discover that game until later. And it wasn't in the arcade that I was frequenting when I played this game. And in the arcade, it was 3 players. It was a 3-player simultaneous cabinet. It had large sprites, fantasy themed. You could play the different classes, the warrior, the cleric, dwarf. Think warrior, cleric, dwarf, wizard, and elf. Those were the 5 playable characters. Each of them is a little bit unique, but this game is very simple. So unlike the Dungeons & Dragons side-scrolling beat-em-up, where you have like spell buttons and all kinds of other stuff that you can equip weapons and stuff like that, this game doesn't have that. You get 2 buttons in the arcade. You get a jump button and you get an attack button, and if you press them both at the same time, you can do a magic attack. That's it. That's all you get. Each character does get unique weapon upgrades and unique defense upgrades, and you can level up your character depending on how much gold and stuff you collect in the levels and how many enemies you defeat. So it adds a little bit to the classic side-scrolling beat-em-up. This game is so simple that it doesn't even have like attack combos. Right? Like a lot of side-scrolling beat-em-ups, like you press the attack button multiple times, and your character will like do a punch, an elbow, a knee, a kick, and then the other character will fly off. This doesn't even have that. It's literally the same attack over and over again. And the way I'm describing it makes it seem like it couldn't possibly be fun or compelling, but I promise you it absolutely is. Original arcade cabinets of this game go for a lot of money because I think there are a lot of people of my age or my generation that do really love this game. And we'll get into the mechanics of the game and I'll talk about it. Either way, we're talking about King of Dragons. This is made by Capcom. This was released in 1991 in the arcades, and it's a fantastic side-scrolling beat-em-up, especially if you like the fantasy genre. And with that being said, let's jump into the gameplay and let's do it right now. All right. Without further ado, let's jump into this game. I'm gonna coin up player 1, and here's my cast of characters. I've got the fighter, cleric, dwarf, wizard, and elf. So on your left here, the wizard and elf, those are your 2 ranged characters, the wizard getting the most range, and I ran out the timer, so it looks like we are gonna play the wizard. The elf. Elf has the most range to start, as I mentioned. However, he is the weakest as far as his attack damage and whatnot. But that's fine. I'm familiar with all these characters, so I can start with any of them. And as you can see, I'm fighting some orcs here. I've got my jump and I've got my attack. And if I press them both at the same time, I can do a magic attack just like that. That one was from that orb that just spawned, so that had nothing to do with me pressing the buttons at the same time. And then here's another magic orb. This one's lightning. That'll kill that guy. It's a very simple game, and you just kind of fight these guys. And then at the end of each level is a boss, and then you level up to do more damage and get more health. The elf also has very low health, so he's definitely not like the tank of the group. So we'll start fighting this guy. This guy is pretty simple. You kind of have to stand in between his maces, and as the elf particularly, he's pretty easy. You can kind of look at the shadows because his maces put off their own shadows to gauge where you should stand. But as you can see, he's pretty simple. Oh, he actually took a hit there. All right, there we go. And it tells you at the end, I love when you defeat a boss, it tells you that was the Orc King. It tells you the name of the boss, which is really cool. And now I get an upgraded bow. And as you can see with each upgrade, as far as the elf is concerned, my arrows change, and sometimes I gain more distance, sometimes they're bigger. I shouldn't have used that right there. But either way, that is what we're doing. There we go, I got a level up. That just means I do more damage, and I also get more toughness and health. And yeah, so that's good. So let's talk about some mechanic differences between the versions of this game. The home console version, or the version that was released for the Super Nintendo, one of the key differences is the size of the sprites. This is the second boss. We kind of get to him right away. He's a little bit more difficult because he fires those things. But anyway, I was talking about the differences. So this is one of the main differences between the home console version and the arcade version is the size of the sprites. The sprites on the home console version are much smaller. If you are only familiar with one, or you haven't seen the arcade version in a while, and you're playing the home console one, you may not notice it too much. But if you play it back to back, or if you're pretty familiar with both versions, you'll notice that the sprites overall for all the characters are much smaller on the home console version. Another key difference is the home console version, you can have 3 buttons instead of just 2. So you get a jump button, you get an attack button, and you also get a block button with some characters. Only the fighter, cleric, and dwarf get a block button because they have shields. And blocking can be really useful. That being said, in the arcade you can block, but it's a little harder. You don't use a button for it. Instead, it's like a block like Street Fighter, and you have to press back on the joystick right as you're about to be attacked. And then you can block that attack. You can stick out your shield and you can block that attack. Let's kill these guys with the magic here. So in that regard, the arcade version is a little harder. Just because, you don't have a defined button for block. And it's a timing thing. It's a timing mechanic. I prefer the block in the arcade version because I think it's a little higher skill level and it makes the game feel harder. That being said, this game is not hard. Even in the arcade, this game is not hard. When I was a kid, I had some trouble with it, but that was because I didn't understand the nuance and stuff. But as you can see, I'm kind of plowing through these guys. As the elf, I can kind of just chain my arrows together to where most of these enemies can't really do anything. It gets much harder though. And I will switch characters. I don't want to spend the entire time as the elf. I mean, he's good, but I just, he doesn't do much damage. As you can see, I've hit this guy probably 10 times, and he only just now lost a health point. So the elf is great, but he just doesn't do much damage. My favorite character, generally, I like wizard type characters. So I do like the wizard in this game. He's my favorite if I had to decide. That being said, it's really fun to play the fighter or the melee characters as well. The cleric, each of the melee characters has unique stats also. I just died, so I'm going to pick different characters. Oh, I can't. That's right. I can pick different characters in between certain levels, which is awesome, but oftentimes it does come with a level penalty. I'll show you what that means. Let's defeat this wyvern. Okay, so he's gonna land, he's gonna shoot his little fireballs. I got my level up. Alright. The music and sound is actually really good in this game. It really has some nice callbacks to 90s fantasy. And I really like late 80s, early 90s fantasy as far as like movies and stuff. I'm taking a lot of damage here, but I should be able to kill this guy. There we go. Defeated the wyvern. Okay, so unfortunately, I think I am gonna get a character select after this. But it's gonna come with a penalty. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, if I pick the elf again, I'm level 4. Oh no, some of them start higher. Okay, so I'm wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna switch to the wizard just because I like the wizard better. He's got shorter range, but I think he does more damage. He's definitely less, he's got even less HP. So he's kind of like the harder mode for this game. Got a new wand, which gives me a new spell. I think this box is a mimic. Yeah. All right, I'll save that. And we'll use it here. Typically, if you use the spells to kill enemies like that, they leave gold, and gold leads to level ups and stuff. Oh, that's one other thing. These blobs, they're low to the ground, and for some characters, they're really hard to hit. But for the wizard, he can his attack is his attack is wide enough that he can hit them while they're on the ground, and he doesn't have to wait for them to jump in the air. I'm trying to talk really fast and also do this at the same time. So I hope you guys are getting that. The wizard, as I said, the wizard's kind of like harder mode in some ways, just because he's way less tanky, but we have infinite lives and continues, so it doesn't matter. All right, this is the Hydra. Each head is a different element. Red being fire, green being slime, and blue being ice. And you have to defeat all 3. And this guy's actually not that hard. As I say that, I take a hit. All right, so I got 1 head, and I died. I got this magic thing though. I'm gonna use that. That's gonna take care of 1 head, and we have 1 left. And that's it. That's the dragon. Or Hydra, sorry, not the dragon. But anyway, I love this game. This game's so fun. Red Dragon Gildiss, that's who we're trying to defeat, has risen from his long slumber. The northern folk are overrun with monsters. All right, so we're gonna go towards the northern folk. I get another chance to change my character if I want. The Cleric is level 6, the Dwarf is level 5, everyone else is level 4. I'm gonna stick with the Wizard, just because, again, favorite character. All right, we'll turn these guys into frogs. And kill some skeletons, get some food. The skeletons are a little bit harder for the wizard just because they have that weird jump that's hard to time. Got a level up there. I wish it gave you life on level up. It doesn't. That actually might be another difference. Can't remember if the Super Nintendo one gives you life on level up. These guys are annoying because every hit they fall and then they pop up and they do that attack. But again, not too hard. This game's not that hard. It's just a fun game to go through. Another difference between the home console version and this version is that the arcade version is 3-player, as I had mentioned. The home console version is only 2-player. So not compatible with the multi-tap or anything like that. Oh, I keep getting hit by those. Only 2-player at the same time on the home console version. This game has also been released in a number of Capcom classic compilations on a few different systems. I think a lot of people, I think this game has a lot of fans. All right, and we're gonna get another new spell, another new wand. As you can see, my little flame, the distance gets a little shorter, but it's now green and does more damage. So it's an interesting trade-off there. But yeah. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, there's kind of like an ending ultimate weapon for each character, you know, and depending on how well you do in the game determines whether you can get that or not. It's not always possible to get. If you die too many times, if you don't get enough points or enough gold, you may not be able to get that. Alright, we have another Minotaur here, but this time he's not the boss of the level, if I remember correctly. Okay, he's trying to ram. This guy's super easy. You just gotta kind of not stay on his level when he's hitting with his axe. There we go. And as I said, I don't think he's the boss of the level. He's just like a mini boss at this point. All right, here we go. This is the stairway. And I think that's a mimic also. No, that's not. But there is a mimic on this stage that's coming up. I'm trying to remember where he's at. So we're still fighting orcs. Eventually we're not going to, we're gonna run into more enemies than just these orcs and skeletons. That's fine. Just moving through the game here. Is this the mimic? No. I think the mimic is a purple box. Maybe it's that one. Yeah, that's the one. All right. Okay. All right, moving along. The boss of this level is the Cyclops. I did not play this game for research of this video, just because I played this game so much as a kid. I kind of have most of the game memorized. So I am playing it from memory. I just really like this game, if that wasn't clear already. My videos. All right, let's move on. We're gonna get up here. This is where the boss is gonna be. Got some minions to kill first. Cyclops is a little bit difficult. You'll see why. Well, I forgot you could interrupt them shooting the arrows. That makes things easier. All right, so here we go. Here's the Cyclops. He pulls down parts of the ceiling, these columns, and throws them at you. They're easy enough to dodge. He can also, if I didn't level up there, that would have been bad. He can grab you and pick you up and start draining life. But that's what he's trying to do when he does that. But if you stay away from him, he can't really do it to you. Oh, that was the punch. Now he tries to grab me. Okay, you just pepper him with shots, and he's easy to down. Ooh, okay. The wizard also has a really slow jump. All the characters in this game kind of have a weird, slow, floaty jump like this, but I think the wizard is slower than the other characters. So that can make his jump kind of hard to use. There we go. Defeated the Cyclops. And he only had 3 HP left. All right, we get a new necklace. The wizard gets necklaces and rings instead of shields as their defense item. Okay, now we're in the forest here. This is a meteor type spell. Does good damage. Ooh, hit by that guy. All right, and more blobs. This spell for the wizard is able to hit the blobs while they're on the ground, which is actually really convenient because otherwise they kind of grab onto you and they're annoying to get off, and they do a lot of damage. Ooh, that's a mimic. You saw it shake. I think most of the mimics are that style of chest. So it's just the mimics, again, they're like the blobs. They're annoying. They kind of grab onto you and do a lot of damage. So it's just easy to get them out of the way. Easier to get them out of the way. Test every chest. I am taking a lot of hits. Here we go. These lizard guys are pretty cool. I just like the artwork in this game. It's like just classic fantasy, old school fantasy with your orcs and your lizard guys and your all kinds of stuff. All right, so this boss is super easy. It's just a bunch of different spiders. He shoots slime. That spider tries to grab you if you're in the way. This one just shoots slime, and so if you do more damage, more will come down at once. But again, super easy. Okay, come on. Oh, I can hit that one. Oh, he got me. Okay, so now I see they're coming down more at the same time. Doesn't matter though. You don't have to kill. There we go. Giant spider. It's called giant spider, even though there's a bunch of them. Easy enough boss. And then this tree is gonna come alive. He's gonna talk to us. Oh, thanks, buddy. I heard the red dragon is in the northern castle. Well, you'd better take this with you. He's gonna give me a power up now. New spell, and we'll see what that is. To the castle. All right, let's try our new spell. This is like a flamethrower, so even shorter distance here with this one, but I like this one because I think it hits 3 or 4 times. So it hits kind of like a chainsaw, and I really like that. Later on, you get an upgraded version of this, which does even more damage. But it's cool. This is one of my favorite ones. Oh, ouch. The downside to this, again, is the range. The range is, that was sad. Jump back in. I hope that doesn't hinder my ability to get, oh, I should not have used that. My ability to get the best item or best weapon. I'm not even sure. That's something I don't remember. These guys are cool. You can kill them. They only take 1 hit, but you have to kind of like be in the right place. There we go. I got that. Let's knock that over. All right. Let's see. That's health. Oh, ouch. Ow, my goodness. This is where the range is making it a little tough. You can kind of knock them back a little bit with this, but it is tough because the range is so short. I don't know if the range gets upgraded on this with the other versions of it. Taking a lot of hits here. Probably gonna die, use a continue, kill that guy. All right. All right, Dragon Rider here. This guy is super easy. If you kind of stay on top of him, he can't really hit you. His spear, see how I'm kind of like jumping and just chaining hits together? And I'm kind of staying on top of his sprite. If I stay on top of his sprite, I moved away. But anyway, if you stay on top of his sprite, he can't really hit you. That's the easiest way to beat this guy. You don't kill him, he jumps away and escapes. He's called the Dragon Rider and he's dead, so it doesn't matter. Gotta collect all my golds. Got another defensive item. Now we're moving to the castle. All right, should I try someone else? The wizard's level 10 though. Everyone else is kind of lower. Kind of want to stick with the wizard. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the wizard. Just because I want him to see if I can get his ultimate. Don't know if I'm doing well enough this time to get it. Good, I killed that guy. Got ice spell even though they were slightly off screen. Got some food. Oh, come on. Damn it, I didn't mean to move it over. And now that guy's over there too. I missed out on so much gold right there. Okay, this is a different Dragon Rider. But same strategy. This one's not a boss. Just a mini boss. easy enough to defeat. He's going to jump away. Later on, you have to fight them both at the same time, if you couldn't predict that already. That being said, I think when you fight them both at the same time, they're not riding dragons. Okay, either way, let's move on. Okay, moving on, getting gold. Here's, oh, this is the same dude. I guess he just got a new dragon. He's like kind of just, you know, chain sacrificing different dragons and stuff. Not a very nice dude. Oh, I want that health though. Oh my gosh, that like threw me really far. Give me that health. Okay. Oh, that was it. Okay, kill that guy. He again jumps away. Again, sacrificing the dragon. It's really mean. All right. Okay. Moving on. I think this is the Wizard Apprentice. Is the boss of this level. I love a good wizard versus wizard fight. Even in a game as easy as this, it's just cool. I mean, it's like one of my favorite like story arcs in any game. It's just wizard, magic user versus magic user. I always, for some reason, that's just always very interesting to me. You know, I like a good sword fight too, but I don't know, just magic spell versus magic spell is just really cool. Oh, it's not the Wizard Apprentice. I don't remember what this guy's name is. I remember fighting him. This guy, he's tough. He blocks, as you can see. And he throws the shurikens. He's like a ninja knight. This guy you kind of want to keep your distance from. Oh, and he's got his dragon rider friends, which are kind of like on the edges of the screen there. Ouch. Okay, I'm going to use this. Get some free damage on him. There we go. What's he called? Black Knight. Alright, look at this knight. Princess Marie from the fortress has been abducted by monsters. Won't you go with me to help save her? For sure, but that dude has got some heavy armor on. Alright, what are we at for levels? I'm going to stick with the wizard. He's my highest level character. Again, trying to see if I can get his ultimate. We got a new spell. What's this? Okay, so this is the upgraded one. As you can see, the distance is a little better, and I think this one also does more damage. It might hit one extra time also. These mummies take a lot of hits. Oh. Okay. There we go. All right. That was a mimic. That was also a mimic. Let me know, guys, in the comments section what you guys think of this game. You know, I know it looks simple from my gameplay and stuff like that. That's what those slimes do. And now that I have a different spell, I can't hit them when they're on the ground, so I have to wait for them to jump. But anyway, what I was saying is, what do you guys think of this game? I know from my gameplay, it looks like a really simple game, and it is simple to play. But that's part of its charm and what makes it fun. This boss is weird. They throw these little scythes at you, which you can counter. And then you kind of have to like stay in the middle of their little circle and just attack to the outside. Ouch. Yeah, this boss is a little annoying. It's not too bad though. Again, none of the bosses in this game are too hard. The double dragon riders or double dragon knights or whatever, that boss is a little hard. The final boss, if I remember correctly, really isn't that hard. But anyway. We will kill these guys. I can't remember what these guys are called. Just one more. Now they're faster. Ow. There we go. Defeated the Wraith. Alright. They drop a whole bunch of stuff. My defensive item. I mean, my defensive items are good, but I want spells, man. I want better staff. I'm single hitting these skeletons now, which is really cool. So I am much stronger than I was when we first encountered them. I'm single hitting them as long as they're not blocking. There we go. All right. This level has one of my favorite bosses just because I love the artwork on him. I think he's called the Dragon King, I want to say. I just love the art on him. Get those guys so I can get the free points. Hopefully get the level up. All right, moving over. Is this Wizard Apprentice or is this the Dragon King? I can't remember what order. I know the Dragon King's coming up. All right, more lizard guys. I almost got all of them. Almost. Ooh, that guy did a good hit. Get some free damage on him. Another lizard spear guy. Another lizard spear guy. Oh. All right. Is this the boss? Yeah, look at this guy. This guy's awesome. He's got wings. He's got a big old spike on his shield. He's got a really cool sword that like turns into a chain. Ow. I just got wrecked. Yeah, see, it turns into like a whip there. I don't know, I like this guy. He's got cool armor. He's also really hard. I mean, really hard to like kill without taking damage. That's what I mean. None of these guys are like exceptionally hard. I think he's dead. I don't know why he has to walk over there to die, but oh, Great Dragonian. So I was totally wrong. He's not the Dragon King. He is the Great Dragonian. That's cool. He like burns up. Yeah, fire. And here we go. You saved me, but the northern castle has fallen to monsters. Will you lend us your aid? For sure. Castle Gyaranos. I don't know. This might already be the last stage. Stage 12. As I had mentioned before, not a long game. I think this stage has 4 bosses? Maybe 3. This is another Dragon Rider. Gotta get those multiple hits in. Sacrificing dragons left and right, and jumping away as they die. You can see the skeletons, they have cool new shields and swords now. Now they take more than one of my hits to kill. So I need an upgraded staff. I think I remember now. The upgraded, or the final or ultimate weapon for the wizard is like a lightning staff. So we'll see if I can get that one. The lightning does a bunch of damage. Okay, so here are, this is the 2 guys I was talking about. I keep getting my bosses mixed up. These are like 2 of the knights that we fought earlier. Again, they share a life bar though, but they are pretty difficult. Get my free damage spell right there. I'm jumping around these ninja knights. Okay, so that guy dropped point. Can I get it? Yeah. Okay. And we'll see. Don't block. Just take it. Let's come back on screen. Oh, he threw shurikens at me. Almost. There we go. The Royal Knights. Oh, so I guess they were the boss of that level? Is this my final staff? Dark Wizard. Nope, stay in Wizard. This is not my final staff. No, it's not. Okay, so now I have Green Fire, which does even more damage. we go. Man, those guys are super annoying. And I have to keep attacking. I think this is a mimic, yeah. Alright, there we go. So this does even more damage, but it's the same type of attack, multiple hits. I think my next staff is the lightning staff. Oh, ouch. Okay. Man, they're starting to do really, I mean, basically a single hit does half of my health. Okay, here's the Wizard Apprentice. Kind of teleports around. He's not too bad. Come on. He has an attack very similar to mine later, I think, or maybe that's the other one. His master. Oh yeah, see, he's got a flame attack too, just like mine. I love that. Magic versus magic. Okay, not too hard. He's just a mini boss there. Here's his master. So you dare rebel against your master Gildiss, I'll destroy you with my black magic. This guy's a little bit more powerful, obviously. He spends the entire fight in the air, so you have to jump to hit him. He's not doing, I mean, he hit me once, but it's not too bad. Kind of stay on top of his sprite. Ouch. Ow. Ow. This guy is not the last boss. He gives off last boss vibes though. Let's get some free damage. And I got a level up. There we go. Dark Wizard defeated. The final boss is Gildiss, obviously, the dragon that they keep talking about. Got my level 7 defensive weapon. And now we're going to move to the cave in the woods, sticking with the wizard. That being said, even though I keep playing the same character, I love that it gives you the opportunity to change characters. Not every fighter does that. Sometimes they do it on continue, but I guess this one's, this one doesn't give you the chance to change on continue, but it does between certain levels. These guys are annoying. Only because they fall after every hit, like the previous ones. But the level is cool. The levels are cool. The level designs are cool. I like the little stream down there. I like the colors of this. Can't wait to get that OLED screen in the Mega Cave, so colors in this game and stuff will just pop more. I'm dying a lot. I gotta play better. I may not even make it to the final weapon, but we'll see. I'm getting close now to the end. Oh, there. Okay, what is this one? Yeah, that's my lightning. I think different variations of this are what the ultimate weapon is for the wizard. But I like the lightning. It's got more range, and I think rather than multiple hits, it's a single hit, but it does all of the damage in one, which is cool. But it just looks awesome. I can't remember the boss of this level, actually. Oh, and we've got another wyvern. He's a little bit stronger, I'm sure. But same exact thing. He's gonna land, he's gonna start shooting this fire. Oh, this guy's ice or blue fire. He's taking a lot of damage though. Okay. Ouch. I'm also taking a lot of damage. He's gonna blow me away with his little wings. Let's see if I can, oh. He didn't land for very long. He took a lot of hits and then went back up. There we go. Defeated the wyvern again. So it's just a little different than the other wyvern. Alright, we got our little villagers over there. Thank you. Now I can live in peace. If you're looking for Gildiss, I think you should go to this cavern. Love how we're just like trusting random people. Go into this cavern. We're on stage 15. So remember when I said I thought it was the final stage? Yeah, I was wrong. See it's a little harder to hit those blobs with this weapon. Again, doesn't really hit low. These mummies, they take so many hits, but they're not hard. Alright. Alrighty. What level are we? We're level 15? So we're going right with the stages. I think we're okay. This may not be the ultimate weapon for the wizard. Some stuff. Can't remember everything. Can't remember everything from when I was 9 years old. Ah! That blob's annoying. Okay. Ooh, we got 2 Cyclops. Cyclopi? Cyclopi? I don't know. What's multiple Cyclopses? I guess it's just Cyclopses. I want to make it more complicated than it is. Let's get the free damage. That guy's gone. Give me my gold! Give me my gold! Got it. Defeated the Cyclops. All my golds. All my golds. I've got 72 health. Golden Limestone Cave. Nope. Wizard. Nope. Oh, but the Cleric was level 18. I didn't even see that. So the Cleric was actually higher level than me. He's been putting in work in the background. Okay, I think this is the final stage. This is supposed to be like the dragon's like treasure hoard. That guy straight up stole a diamond. Got some mimics in there. Here we go. This is Gildiss. This is the final boss, I believe. There might even be a secret stage in this game that I don't remember. You mere human think that you can defeat the mighty Gildiss? Well, come on then. I'll charbroil your bones. So he's got 2 things. You see his body in the background. He attacks you with his head. And then he tries to grab you just like that. I think there's a way to counter the grab. That being said, I don't remember how to do it. Maybe you just hit his hand to counter it. You can do damage to him by hitting his hand and his head. Now he's gonna switch directions. He's not that hard though. Oh my goodness. I say that and I die. That's right, free damage. The music for this guy's epic. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'll turn it up a little bit. He's got like a good amount of armor. I'm hitting him a lot, but it's not doing much damage. Okay, he's gonna change directions again. And we're gonna beat this guy, hopefully. Ow, fire. Oh, no, 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 no. Is that it? Oh, why did I? Oh, I leveled up while I was fighting him? That's cool. Change directions again. He's only got 2 more bars of health, but he's gonna. Can we get another hit on him? Ah, no! 1 more bar. Music intensifies. There we go, defeated Red Dragon. Gildiss is dead. He drops all this stuff, even though I don't know why you need it. I guess just to enhance your score. But that's it. I think we finished the game. There we go, it shows me looking off into the horizon. Although the heroes received many wounds, they were finally able to defeat the Red Dragon. Now their country would know peace again. Standing in the cavern of Gildiss' treasure hoard, they were nearly blinded by the sparkle of gold. As they stood looking at their hard-won haul, they looked as though they could see new adventures reflected in each precious gem. That kind of like hints that there may be a sequel, and I actually don't know if there's a sequel to this game. I would love to find out, but that's it. We finished it. Alright, so final thoughts on King of Dragons by Capcom for the arcade. Again, as I have said many times in this video, this game is one of my favorite games of all time. When I was playing in the arcade back in the early 90s, this game definitely got most of my money. I was just pumping quarters in. I was playing with anybody else that stepped up to the arcade cabinet and wanted to play. It was really fun doing 3 players at the same time. I love the multiplayer aspect of it. I love the weapon upgrades and stuff like that. Game is deceptively simple, but it's still really, really fun. But let me know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this game. Have you played it before? Do you really like this game? Maybe you hate this game. Maybe it's too simple. Maybe you just don't like it. Maybe, you know, maybe there are other fighters that are better. I will not contest that there are other fighters that are better. For sure, there are other fighters that are better than this game. But this one really speaks to me. This one really gives me really good feelings of nostalgia, and then I just really love playing it. Check it out. If you haven't checked it out, check it out on many of the game compilations that you can purchase from Capcom, or play it on the Super Nintendo if you've got it, or if you've got, you know, if you've got access to it, play it on the Super Nintendo. This was the arcade version. This is my favorite version of this game. I hope I did a good. I hope I did good in explaining what the differences are. That being said, the Super Nintendo version is still just as fun. I know I was hating on it a little bit, but it's still a great game. So I really, really like it. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Backlog Arcade. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss an episode. These episodes come out every Saturday, and they will do that for the foreseeable future. So I really thank you guys for joining me for this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Till then, happy gaming.